see if this is working. I'm not streaming due to BTK24. I'm streaming Fight Forever, so they got that labeled wrong, but no big deal. Hello, hello, hello. I can't hear anything. Hello. Oh, jeez. Okay. I think that this is working. Thing one that I will say right off the rip, I'm standing up trying to fix this stuff. It is hot as an MFer. It is very hot. It was 90 degrees today, which a lot of people that I talk to use Celsius. 90 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is a bit insane for April. So it is very hot, and just sitting will make you sweat. So the reason I'm pointing this out is because I've had to cut my fan off to film this freaking video. So y'all are welcome. Y'all don't have to say thank you, but I will admit that I'm just sweating just freaking standing here. But what the hell y'all care about, what y'all should care about, and why you hopefully clicked on this video, is to listen to me talk about AEW Dynasty, the next AEW pay-per-view event taking place this weekend. And we're here for our pay-per-view predictions. So, there's a lot to discuss, as always, with pay-per-views. So, I'm filming this early Thursday. So there's a high chance that several things are added or changed to this event. So if that is the case, I will try my best to comment my thoughts on it down below prior to the event. As of right now, there are 9 matches. I believe it's either 8 or 9. It was 8 on the website, 9 on Wikipedia. So there is that. And I'm also going to be talking about the first round of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament because the brackets were revealed on this past edition of Dynamite. So there's a lot to discuss. Normally, when we discuss AEW related items, we hop on Fight Forever and play my favorite game mode of Stadium Stampede. So that will be the case right here. And we're going to start this predictions off in a big way and talk about the most likely main event, but definitely the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. Jon Moxley defending against Swerve Strickland. This has been such an obscure World Heavyweight title run for Jon Moxley. But I think this is the match. Make or break would be a bit of too bold of a statement to say, but this is like, if this is a bad match, because let's just be honest, a lot of people have hated this title reign. Me personally, I'm kind of neutral towards it. I kind of understand why the criticism is there for it, and it seems that ever since he won the damn title, everyone's like, just take it away from him, take it away from him. And it's also why it's even been more obscure, is like, sometimes you forget he's the world champion because you very rarely see the title, and I know that's a whole other subject and whatnot, but this is going to be a very, very conflicting match, and it's my favorite type of match. When I talk about sports predictions and UFC, basketball, the ones that I like is where you don't have a rooting interest, which for me, in the case of the world of NBA, right now, I have a rooting interest because the damn playoffs are coming up, and I'm trying to, any way that a team can lose, and it helps my Grizzlies in the playoff standings. That, again, this is a whole other tyrant and whatnot, but let's go back to the UFC side. If there's a UFC fight coming up, and I don't really necessarily care about both fighters, that's a good fight for me to watch because I don't have any vested interest into this. Or with this, like I said, I'm kind of been neutral towards this Jon Moxley world title reign. Like I said, a lot of people have hated it. I am a bit invested in wanting Moxley to win just to see the discourse that would follow after that. But I also feel that out of the world title matches that Moxley has had in this reign, Swerve is the most likely person to take the title from him. He's one of the biggest names in the company, and it would be kind of a full circle moment because At last year's Dynasty, Swerve won his first World Championship, so Dynasty would be solidified as the Swerve Strickland pay-per-view. But it is a very, very difficult match to predict. Like I said, I anticipate it being Moxley's best match in this title reign with a little bit of foreshadowing there. But I don't know who the hell is going to win. So, a bit of a weird way to start this predictions off with a match I don't know who's going to win. I think I'm going to go with Moxley, just for the sake, like I said. I feel that there's more. I don't know. I feel there's more to this reign. I feel that there's a big payoff to this title reign. And we just saw Swerve be the world champion. Now, granted, it doesn't really help when the person that is actual world champion's been the world champion for the longest time in the company, has had several reigns with the title, so that's not really the best defense for that. But I just feel that there's more to this. Now, I know that's not going to be the popular answer, or the answer that everybody's looking for, but I think I'm all right with whoever walks out as champion in this match. So, for the sake of it, I am going to pick Moxley, but I'm okay with either result. Now, another match that you could also really debate who could win it is the women's title match. Toni Storm versus Megan Bayne. Now, I will use this defense in a couple of other matches on here, and it's my normal defense. Toni Storm felt like she just won the championship back, so I don't really know if it's the right time for her to lose it. But I also feel that they have pushed Megan Bayne into a crazy position. So it kind of would feel like, because this is the start of Megan Bayne's time in this company. It would feel, until she accomplished a championship feat, that it will always linger in the back of our mind that, oh, she lost to Toni Storm, which, that should be really the case. Toni Storm's the quote-unquote veteran in this situation. But I feel that there's also a lot of momentum behind Megan Bayne as well. So this is another match where you can really debate it, but the kind of factor is Toni Storm is the most popular act in AEW. I was discussing this with somebody else. Toni Storm has right now the best case of wrestler of the year, and that's in general. I feel that she has the best case. She's had great matches and moments to start this year off, so I'm giving her that compliment. If she needs to continue that reign, then she would need to continue her reign as champion. So for the sake of it, I'm picking Toni Storm to retain her championship. Now, another title match. Lots of title matches on this show, which I'm not going to say that the stipulation for Dynasty should be all the matches are title matches. They don't have to go the WWE United Champions route or Clash of Champions if you want to be that technical. But I thought that would be kind of a cool idea for them, because on last year's poster for the show, the poster was just all the champions and they were in a frame, where this year is the main title matches on the show is the poster. But I know that all titles on the line is not the stipulation, because there's a champion and a non-championship match. But another title match to discuss here. And this one probably is going to be my pick for match of the night. Triple threat international title match with Kenny Omega defending against Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. I love that I have the chance to keep talking about my cliches that I've mentioned time and time again in other videos, but the thing with that is this might be your first time watching my channel, so you don't know what I'm talking about. So this is why I repeat a lot of these cliches over and over again. But I'm not over triple threat matches, but I feel in the modern era of wrestling, and when it comes to WrestleMania, this is going to be the definite case, but we get a lot of freaking triple threat matches nowadays, and I'm kind of over that. But I always have to follow it up, and this is the cliche. It's very difficult to have a bad triple threat match, and this match is going to be that example. As I literally just said, it's probably my pick for match of the night. Now, the other thing that I just said 5 minutes ago is that Toni Storm, it just feels that this title reign has began. And with Kenny Omega, that's the definite case because he won the title after Toni Storm, and I don't think he's defended the title. How many times did he do it? I know he had that match with Blake Christian. I don't even think that was a title match. Was that his only match since winning this championship? Potentially. So hopefully it is not literally a one match title reign and it continues on. I'm going to go with Kenny Omega to retain. So we have another title match. How many more title matches we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more. And like I said, there's still more matches that could be announced that end up being damn title matches. But this next one to talk about is for the Trios Championship. The Death Riders defending against Rated FTR. I wouldn't mind Rated FTR winning and getting a Trios title reign, considering the Death Riders very much in a Jon Moxley situation to where you kind of forget sometimes that they're champions. And I feel it would give something cool and different for Rated FTR, Edge, and FTR to do because they kind of been doing the same thing for a minute. Mainly FTR. But it just feels that there's a lot of turmoil between the group, and it would be weird for them to get the championship. Now, I could see this potentially being, they win the championship and it's a shock and it's not that long of a reign. I'm mainly just asking for the Death Riders to lose the titles, and you're probably looking at me weird like, you're okay with the other members of the Death Riders losing, but you're not okay with Mox? It is what I want the Trios title to go back to its earliest form. And that if y'all remember the damn Trios tournament to crown these champions, we had some all-time matches. And since then, it hasn't been on that same level. And I've recommended it several times that they should do another Trios tournament, which I know the title doesn't have to be vacated, but you get the point. I feel that they should have done another Trios tournament by now. That's a subject for a different video, I guess. So I am going to go with the Death Riders to win, even though I don't want them to win. And I would not be that surprised or opposed to Rated FTR winning and it being a shocking surprise because, like I said, there's so much turmoil going on with the trio, and we get a bit of a short reign out of them as champions. So that's kind of my hope. This happens. This happens all the time. Please tell me y'all see this. Y'all freaking see this. Please tell me. This happens all the time on here. Oh my God. We got another title match to talk about, but I gotta finish this for a second. Awkward silence because I was concentrating. Another title match. This one is for the Tag Team Championships. The Hurt Syndicate's Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus the Learning Trees, Big Bill and Brian Keith. I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate to retain. Now, I don't know what MJF's involvement in this match will be. Will he even get involved? Time will tell with that, as I earned a badge that I was not looking to see what the badge was. Now, surprise, surprise, another title match, and this one is the most meaningful one to me. It is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title match. Chris Jericho versus Bandito. Title versus mask. Now, why is it the most meaningful one to me? I review Ring of Honor every week on this channel. Friday mornings, they are uploaded. And ever since Chris Jericho won this championship, I have wanted him to lose the championship. Now, I will give him credit over... Since the first time he defended against Bandito, or let me rephrase that. Since he defended against Bandito a couple weeks ago on Collision, the title reign has picked up and been a little bit better. Promo-wise, again, you sometimes forget that he's the world champion. And especially in my case, and talk about Ring of Honor TV every week, very rarely shows up. I want a champion that can hold up the legacy of Ring of Honor, and I don't feel that Chris Jericho is that. I personally want a champion that is on the TV show regularly, which Chris Jericho is not that. And I want one that will put on great matches, which the previous Ring of Honor World Champions were doing that. Claudio, Eddie, and Mark. Or Claudio Castagnoli, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe. Chris Jericho, like I said, I'll give him credit. The Bandito title match a couple weeks ago was very good. I also feel that, and this is making me very, very hopeful, but I also feel that with them running this match back, I don't think there's a real benefit in Bandito losing to Jericho a second time. Technically a third time, because they did this match during Jericho's first World Heavyweight title reign as well. So, I'm hoping that Bandito wins this Ring of Honor World Championship, reclaims honor, and starts to have bangers every week on Ring of Honor television. That way I could talk about those matches. So I'm going with Bandito to win. And would also suck if he lost, because then he would lose his damn mask. And I don't think anyone really wants to see that. And if it does, you're bullshit, if we're just being honest. So I'm hoping that Bandito reclaims this Ring of Honor World Championship. So I'm going with Bandito to win this matchup. Our last title matchup to talk about thus far is for the TNT Championship. No time limits, no interference, straight up graps. Two of the greatest PWG World Champions of all time, Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. Baby. I should also mention that the international title match hosts 3 former PWG Battle of Los Angeles winners and 2 former PWG champions that literally lost their titles in their first defense. And Mike Bailey should have been PWG champion, but maybe Bailey will get another chance at some point. But TNT title match, Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. I feel that this will be a match that solidifies DG's TNT title reign. It feels that this Adam Cole matchup has been a bit weird because it's been teased and on and off, and they had a match, and it wasn't really complete, so that's why we're having this one with the higher stakes involved. There's a world where I see Adam Cole winning it. I would not be that opposed to Adam Cole winning it, but I think for the sake of things, I'm going to go with Daniel Garcia to win. Now, 2 very, very important matchups taking place to discuss, as they are the first round bouts in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, aka the Owen Cup. So if I refer it to either one, you know what tournament it is. The men's side of things, we have Will Ospreay facing Kevin Knight. I will admit that I was watching Dynamite. I needed to go to the bathroom. And, of course, the moment that I go to the bathroom, they reveal the brackets. And so I went back on Twitter and saw the brackets, and I saw several people tweeting, "Where's Jay White? Where's Jay White?" So I don't know what exactly happened to Jay White and why he's not in the tournament. Everything that I kept seeing is that he is injured, which if that's the case, that sucks. It sucks even more if the first round matchup they were going to get was supposed to be Will Ospreay and Jay White, because where I saw it said that Kevin Knight replaced Jay White in this tournament, and that kind of checks out because a lot of the names that are involved here had previously announced their submission to be in this tournament. So I will admit that the men's side of thing is very unpredictable, and this is the first men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament match to talk about. I think that the favorite in this tournament is probably Will Ospreay, and it would be insane if he lost his first matchup in the tournament. So I'm picking Will Ospreay to win this matchup. The next one to talk about is in the women's side of the bracket. Current TBS champion and champion of several other promotions, Mercedes Moné taking on Julia Hart. This would be a great moment if Julia Hart won this, but I don't expect that to happen. Because very rarely, if ever, Mercedes Moné loses a matchup. So I'm going with Mercedes Moné to win once again. So now that we have some extra time on our hand, we're going to talk about the other first round matchups in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Because, like I said, at this moment, we don't have any other matches for Dynasty announced. But if any are announced after this is uploaded, I shall do my best to talk about them and comment them down below. As we got 2 cans, a stinger. The women's side of thing. The winner of Mercedes Moné and Julia Hart will face the winner of Athena and Harley Cameron. There's a massive tag team matchup taking place this weekend on Collision involving all 4 of these competitors. And I'm expecting Athena to win. So with that logic, we will be getting Athena versus Mercedes Moné, which is a dream matchup and one that a lot of people have talked about. And I will be 100% honest with y'all. All right, I'm not going to be 100% honest with y'all. I want to be very honest with y'all. You heard me discussing Mercedes Moné, and the main thing that I said is, very rarely, if ever, does she lose. And with the case of Athena, that's kind of the case as well. Now, the weird thing is, when Athena normally loses, it's on AEW TV. Now, I've reviewed every episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club, and Athena's competed. I'm not going to say in the most matches, but if I had to put money on it, she's probably competed in the most matches. And very rarely, if ever, she's lost on there. So, this would be one of those matchups I was talking about where you don't know who the hell is going to win. Those are the good matches. But I very much anticipate Mercedes Moné winning, and that does take away a little bit for me because I would prefer Athena to win because she's my favorite women's competitor there. I'm kind of showing a bit of bias there. So I'm not entirely looking forward to this match, but I am a little bit more because my main concern, this was my main concern, was that they were going to do Mercedes Moné versus Athena, and it was a winner takes all, and Athena puts her Ring of Honor Women's Championship on the line, and Mercedes Moné puts her TBS. I don't even really think Mercedes Moné. Here's my main concern. My main concern is that Mercedes or Athena drops the Ring of Honor Women's Championship to Mercedes Moné. I don't want that whatsoever. So if that doesn't happen, I am slightly okay with any other outcome, even though I would prefer Athena just to win any and all the matches that she has with Mercedes Moné. But I'm not expecting that to happen. So there's that. So that being said, it shall be a good match. It'd be a bit difficult for them to have a bad match. Now the other side of the women's bracket, we have Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks and Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. And if you heard me a couple minutes ago, I said the women's side of the bracket kind of seems easy to predict. I'm going with Jamie Hayter to win, and I'm going with Chris Statlander to win to give us another crazy and good matchup that I feel has happened before, but it's been such a long time since it has happened that it is time for them to revamp and do it once again. I think I'm going to go... You know what I could actually see happen? Here's what also makes this a little bit more conflicting, is that the winner is supposed to get a women's title shot at All In, because that's what happened last year for both the women and men's side of things. I could see... Oh my goodness. This is what makes this difficult. Because with all 4 of the women that I have advanced, I could see them being involved in the women's title match at All In. But I could see the most likely finals of this tournament being Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné again, because they've had 2 great matchups already in which Mercedes Moné won. And hopefully, third time around, Chris Statlander wins. Because just like I said with Jericho and Bandito a couple minutes ago, there's no real point in them competing against each other so many damn times and then it just being the same outcome. So that's what I kind of would anticipate there now that I think of it. But it's also, again, a bit of being scared that Mercedes Moné wins and then she has all the titles everywhere and she wins the women's title at freaking All In, which I wouldn't be that damn surprised if that happening. But, bro, Nala eliminated herself. I kind of just set up my predictions for the whole women's tournament, which I was only going to talk about the first round. For the men's side of things, I'm only going to talk about the first round. I already talked about Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight. We have Brody King and Konosuke Takeshita. I'm going with Takeshita to win. That way we have Ospreay and Takeshita once again. And we have Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher and Hangman Adam Page versus the Wild Card. Now, what's funny about this is last year's Wild Card in the tournament was Hangman Adam Page. And so I didn't want to come here and talk about this and be wrong, but I was like, I feel like the Wild Card in the tournament every year at least wins their first round matchup. But that was not the case because the first year it was Johnny TV, then known as Johnny Elite. And he lost to Samoa Joe, where last year's was Hangman Page, and he won his first round matchup and went to the finals. In 2023, I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't look up the tournament, but I don't think there was a wild card in 2023. That was also a Collision exclusive tournament in hindsight, which is a bit insane looking at it now. I expect Kyle Fletcher to win against Mark Briscoe, which does bother me because I love Mark Briscoe and would hope that he wins the whole tournament, but I'm not that insane. Hangman Page versus the wild card is very difficult because we don't know who the wild card is. I am going to throw out two names. One name I will throw out is a man that has been missing in action, and we've been wanting to see him once again in AEW action again, and that is Darby Allin. And the other name I'm going to throw out is the potential newest signing for AEW, and whenever he competes, is going to be the hottest free agent, Josh Alexander. Now, it wouldn't be impossible for Josh Alexander to defeat Hangman Page, but I will say Darby Allin returning and defeating Hangman Page is more likely, and we could see Darby winning this tournament. Well, time will tell with that. So we talked for 30 minutes about some AEW action, close to 30 minutes, so don't really think there's much more to discuss until more things are added and announced for the Dynasty card this weekend. I'm mainly trying to wrap things up. That way I could cut my fan back on because I am sweating profusely. So I do appreciate y'all for watching this. Hopefully, if you watch Dynasty this weekend, you enjoy it because I do think that it'll be a good event. And I'm looking forward to enjoying it and talking more about AEW with you down the line. So I do appreciate y'all for watching this. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what the hell y'all expect to happen at this event this weekend. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all because I'm out for now. Goodbye.